Greetings, fellow Arrow fans. Well, look at Arrow Season 6. Now continues on with The Devil's Greatest Trick. The episode starts with Kate and James talking with Oliver and Diggle by means of a PC screen. Kate uncovers he's anticipating exploding the thermobaric, thermobaric bomb over Star City at midnight. Oliver and Diggle return to Arrow HQ, attempt to conceptualize and follow up an arrangement inside 4 hours. Kate is tending to his partners in crime about the last making arrangements for the explosion of the bomb. He advises them that they'll all be carried out of the city before the bomb is exploded. In a flashback, Kato's working at his PC at Helix. He's acquainted with Felicity's programmer companion, Alina. Kato gets a book from his child. He's disturbed that his dad missed his game. Present day, Lance is attempting to compose clearings out of Star City. Anatoly, Ricardo Diaz, and Laurel are examining whether they trust Caden. Monster makes reference to that transport Caden guaranteed personally can't seem to appear. Dinah's combined one of Caden's safe houses with Curtis and Renee. She's searching for my dad on where to discover Black Siren to try to get equity for Vincent. Alina's helping Felicity at Arrow HQ. She reports that she revealed reality behind the video that can find Oliver as the killer of Caden's child. Someone really Oliver's face on the video that was provided to Caden. Oliver and Diggle track Caden down and show him the verification. Kate acknowledges somebody inside his own association coordinated the passing of his child. The pair come back to Arrow HQ and tells Felicity and Alina that Kate has requested them to turn in Anatoly, Dragon, and Laurel. In any case, the bomb will let President explode. These shows up at the den with William. Acknowledging they need more assistance, Diggle calls Curtis and Renee to request their assistance. Somewhere else, Dinah has found Black Siren. The two start battling while Lance runs in to stop the battle. Dinah thumps him oblivious, and overthrows and utilizes a controlling bolt on both of the metahumans, disclosing to them he needs to spare the city. We see another flashback, one in which Alina cautions Keenan that Argus has his aroma and could be following him because of his hacking abilities. Present day, the Gathering is holding Black Siren at their new Helix compound. Arrow strolls in and has a conflict with Dinah about executing Laurel once they salvage the city. William is becoming disappointed with Felicity at the Arrow HQ, and she consoles him that everything will be okay. Oliver and Diggle track down Ed and Charlie make fast work of his partners in crime. They catch Ed and Charlie while Curtis and Renee get Dragon. At Arrow HQ, the entirety of the grown-ups occupied with attempting to get the three caught scoundrels to Kate and James, William gets away from the den. Oliver and Diggle take on Charlie to Caden, and William appears. We see another flashback. Kate is watching his child's ball game from far off when two Argus specialists appear and capture him. Dinah and Lance take Laurel to Caden's office. While Dinah goes to investigate the spot, Laurel and Lance contend about the treatment of each other. Tree feels that Lance has been out of sightline, giving her photos of his as of late executed little girl. They take Laurel's side simultaneously. Curtis and Renee show up with Diaz. Katie clarifies his hypothesis that one of them created the video of Oliver slaughtering his child, Owen. Buxer ventures forward and confesses slaughtering Caden's moronic child. Back at Area HQ, Felicity and Alina notice something is right with Caden's bomb and attempt to make sense of what's happening. Turns out Caden's bomb detonator meddling with Laurel's capacity hosing neckline. She understands this and can rip the neckline off. She makes brisk work diverting everyone with her forces so she's ready to get away. Probably outside the distribution center, Dinah stops her. Inside, William sees a dinner on the floor and starts strolling towards it. A firefight breaks out outside. Outside, Lance takes time pulling Dinah and Laurel separated. However, Dinah's ready to shoot Black Siren in the stomach. Kane takes a knife from William and reveals Oliver that he feels that he bombed his child, so he, despite everything, intends to level the city. Oliver's ready to shoot Caden in the arm, making him drop the detonator. Group A respect the air fortification in the wake of having the option to secure Caden. Renee and Curtis remind Oliver, despite the fact that they cooperated to bring up Kate and James, they will stay separate groups. The following day, Oliver strolls in to talk with Caden in a cross-examination room. Oliver needs consolation that being caught wasn't a piece of a ploy. To demonstrate that he doesn't have any ulterior thought processes, Keaton gives Oliver a piece of paper with expected areas for his previous partners and their individual financial balances. Another flashback, we see an Argus specialist educate Caden regarding the death of his child. We see Lance take a black siren to his vehicle to get her out of the way with a shot injury. Diaz rolls into a room Caden is being held in. Subsequent disclosing to him Star City is primed for a takeover. Dragon uncovers the new police chief and a couple of other city authorities are on his finance. Mythical Serpent points out Mythical Serpent at that point cuts Caden, murdering him. Boy. So anyway, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. Barry Allen makes a cameo in this episode. Oliver has Barry rush him and John to meet Kate and James before he leaves the city. This is the first time that John did not vomit while being carried by a speedster. However, Oliver has Barry beforehand to transport them. Thus, John would have prepared to be carried at super speed, possibly even taking medication to prevent motion sickness. This episode possibly takes place after the events of the Flash episode True Colors, in which Barry was released from prison. This is the first time since the trial of the Flash where Barry appears on screen as the Flash. Black Sarah can be seen wearing one of the power dampening collars that was shown in the Crisis on Earth X crossover, having then been used by the Earth X Nazis to suppress the powers of metahuman prisoners, as well as deliver a powerful electric shock to any human inmate trying to escape. The title of this episode refers to a major twist at the end, where it's revealed that Ricardo Diaz is the true murderer of Caden's son and the mastermind of the events of season 6. Appropriately, the title is also a reference to the quote, "The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist," from the film The Usual Suspects. Interesting. So I think this episode is pretty good, and again, I wish the two different teams would actually, start would wouldn't be separate, but hey, I guess you can always get what you want. So yeah. So overall, I give The Devil's Greatest Trick 4 arrowheads out of 5. But anyway, tune in as we to the next episode, Collision Course. So until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.